First home game in nearly a month for Wheaton women's basketball as they welcome the Bears of Bridgewater State into Emerson Gymnasium. Welcome to the Newmax Sports Network, everybody. I'm Jackson Walsh. These are two teams below 500 trying to pick up some crucial wins before the first semester comes to an end. It's Bridgewater State and Wheaton coming up next on the Newmax Sports Network. First, we'll send it down to the floor to public address announcer Alan Wickstrom for today's starting lineups.
Welcome to Emerson Gymnasium on the campus of Wheaton College for today's NCAA Division III women's basketball contest featuring the visiting Bridgewater State University Bears and your Wheaton College Lions. Wheaton College, the Newmax, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, homophobic remarks, and other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal of site or competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. At this time, we ask that you please rise if able. Remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting Bears. A senior guard from Plymouth, Massachusetts, for 0, Caroline Tripp. A junior guard from Plymouth, Massachusetts, for 3, Kylie Grassi. A senior forward from Lakeville, Massachusetts, number 10, Sophia Goucher. A junior center from Heating Hills, Massachusetts, number 13, Jessica DeMores. A senior guard from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, number 23, Sydney Bradley. The Bears are coached by Bridget Mason, assisted by Henry Malone, and Chanel Melton, and George Galvin. And now let's meet your Lions. Sophomore guard from Cleveland, Pennsylvania, number 4, Kiki Walters. A senior forward from Carver, Massachusetts, number 13, Maddie Mueller. A sophomore guard from Sacramento, California, number 15, Dennis Jasperson. A junior guard from Sonnet, Massachusetts, number 22, Abby Hernandez. A sophomore forward from Norton, Massachusetts, number 22, Tasha Arnold. The Lions are coached by Allison Chernow, assisted by George Moretti and Natalie Wynn. Officials for today's contest are Richard Mona, Paul Semenko, and Taryn O'Neill.
Was Alan Wickstrom with the anthem and starting fives here for Bridgewater State. Wheaton Hill is handed over to Colin Riley on public address for the rest of the game. More in-depth look at the starters here for Bridgewater State. It was going to be originally announced as Caroline Tripp, but it looks like she's a scratch from the starting five, so it'll be Ariel Cleveland, Sydney Bradbury, Jessica Demores, Sophia Goucher, and Kylie Grassi. For Wheaton on the other end, Maddie Mueller, Kenneth Jasperson, Abby Fernandez, Kiki Walters, and Nasha Arnold will be out there to start. Before we can even tip, there's already a discussion with Wheaton interim head coach Allison Chernow and the officials. It could very well be the discrepancy in the starters that were being put out, because what I was handed and the live stats until just now being changed read that Caroline Tripp would be in the starting lineup for Bridgewater this afternoon, but Ariel Cleveland is actually out there in the starting five. So it looks like that's getting sorted out at the table right now. Looks like we're good to go. Bridgewater State in the away reds. Wheaton in the home whites, about ready to go. Here from Emerson Gymnasium. All-time Bridgewater State leading the series over Wheaton. 4 wins to 1. Wheaton trying to get back in that season, historic series this afternoon, and they'll start with the ball. They win the tap. Fernandez drives in, and the strip coming in from the outside with Sophia Goucher. It'll stay here on this end with Wheaton. The Lions 4-5 overall. Bridgewater State 3-5. Still non-conference action for both of these teams as Walters drives in, used the body. Couldn't finish, though. Back the other way. Grassi on the finish. Kylie Grassi is going to be a problem this afternoon. She's averaging just over 22 points a game, the leading scorer in the MASCAC. Bridgewater State coming off a 1-point loss, 80-79 over Brandeis for Wheaton. They're coming off a win, 71-64 up in Milton over Curry this past Tuesday. Arnold inside, swings it in the corner. Jasperson wide open for 3, knocks it down. The sharpshooter from Sacramento with the 3 ball from the corner. Last time these two teams met was actually in this calendar year, January 9th, 2023 at Bridgewater State. It was a 71-64 win for the Bears over the Lions. And who else? Kylie Grassi led all scorers with 25, and Maddie Mueller steps up on the defensive end to draw the charge. A foul charge to Ariel Cleveland. First personal, first team foul for the Bears. Fernandez gets the screen from Mueller, pulls up just beyond the free throw line and knocks it down. That's her bread and butter right there, the mid-range. The junior out of Sonnet, Massachusetts, averaging a little over 11 points per game this season. Inside, Grassi couldn't get it to go, but she was fouled. So 2 shots on the way coming up for Kylie Grassi. Just said, leading the MASCAC in scoring with over 22 points a game. Junior guard out of Plymouth. Played her high school hoops at Plymouth North High School. Same high school as teammate Caroline Tripp as Grassi knocks down the first of 2 at the stripe. This is game 2 of 2 games that were played inside Emerson Gymnasium today. Wheaton men's basketball had their conference home opener. They defeated MIT 76-56. Wheaton men are off to a good start. Wheaton women trying to improve to 500 today with a win. 1-point lead for them now in the opening 2 minutes. These two schools separated by just about 12 miles as Cleveland comes up with a steal. Bears in transition, and Walters nearly had herself a steal on the other end, but ball went out of bounds. Should say that Walters actually stepped out of bounds. The ball did not go out of bounds. Walters had her toes on the baseline, so an inbound here coming up for Sophia Goucher. Goucher gets it into Cleveland. Cleveland in the mid-range. Knocks down the J. Ariel Cleveland, the junior forward out of Groveland. Massachusetts. Fernandez, free throw line again. Can't get the friendly bounce this time, and the rebound down low for Jessica Demores. Grassi behind the back outside. Demores, baseline, floater, gets it to go. 3-point lead for Bridgewater. Jasperson will take it back outside, set something up here. Arnold, right wing, puts it on the floor. Now it's Fernandez. Dumped in. Mueller works in the post. Jump hook with the right. Tough shot, but got it to go off the glass. Right wing, Bradbury. Jab step inside. Looks like it could have been a charge there, but a bucket for Sydney Bradbury. Bradbury staying local to play her collegiate hoops, a native of East Bridgewater. A lot of locals on this Bridgewater State team. Now a blocking foul is going to come in that's called against number 10, Sophia Goucher. That'll be her first personal. Kiki Walters draws the foul. She'll head to the line for 2 shots. Walters this season averaging 8.3 points per game. The sophomore guard out of Fleetwood, Pennsylvania, knocks down the first of 2 at the line. Two of 2 on that trip for Kiki Walters, and we'll have our first substitution of the day. It's Regan Cater checking in the ball game for Wheaton. Missed a couple of games recently due to injury, but back in there now. Outside, 3 on the way. Bradbury, too strong, and Fernandez pulls down the rebound. Fernandez will push, and an errant pass right into the hands of Cleveland. Was looking for Arnold on the fast break, and it's going to be a tie-up on the floor. Possession arrow going back the other way to Bridgewater. Tatum Young checks in the game for Wheaton. First-year guard out of Forts, Illinois. Just had her career high of 10 points in the 75-67 win over Curry this past Tuesday. Young went to the floor, and that left Goucher all alone wide open. It looked like Goucher didn't even recognize it at first, but took the bunny and made it. Fernandez into the corner to Young. Young dishes inside. Mid-range. Cater no good. Airball there right into the hands of Young, but Young no good on the putback. Back the other way goes Bradbury. Thought about the 3 and now bring it outside to Cleveland. Backdoor, Goucher. Bounce pass now wide open. Demores too strong and a foul. It's going to go against Bridgewater on the loose ball. It's going to be charged to Sophia Goucher, and that's Goucher's second personal foul, just not even 5 minutes into this game. Goucher will head to the sidelines, and now Caroline Tripp steps onto the floor for the first time. The senior guard out of Plymouth. Averages just under 9 points a game and 3.5 assists. Fernandez, good feed inside. Cater just couldn't hold it. Looked like it might have gotten tipped. Young, downtown. Couldn't get the 3 to go, and the rebound collected by Demores. Tripp, cross-court pass, 3 on the way. Bradbury knocks it down. Bradbury with a couple of buckets early on. Bridgewater up to a 6-point lead over the Lions. Young holding that dribble for a long time. Bradbury with a tight D finally gets it off to Arnold. Arnold straight away, and there was nothing there in the post. Lucky that wasn't a steal. It just got knocked out of bounds, but Arnold tried to really force that pass inside to Cater. Tatum Young heads to the bench. Kenneth Jasperson back in. Fernandez, hop step inside, can't get it off the glass. The rebound for Demores. Tripp up floor has Grassi. Crossover, Grassy, elbow. Too strong, and that ball is going the other way, tipped out of bounds off of Demores. Jasperson will take her time, bringing it up across half court. We'll swing it left to Arnold. Allnerd. Arnold back outside to Jasperson. Jasperson gets the screen. Long two. Goes in and out, and the rebound there for Jordan Peebles, who just checked in the game. Bradbury pump fakes the three, steps into the mid-range. That one is a 360 and out. Bradbury leading all scorers with 5 right now. Good post feed. Jasperson to Arnold, back outside to Fernandez. Left elbow. Clanks off the backboard. Trip. Will push the tempo. Grassy, 3-ball. Goes off the left side of the rim, no good. Wheaton has numbers, but Fernandez had to take time to collect it. And Allison Chernow will try to slow her team down here a little bit. Takes a timeout. We will too. 3:31 to go in the first quarter. Bridgewater 15, Wheaton 9. You're watching Wheaton Lions women's basketball on the NewMax Sports Network. Six-point lead for Bridgewater State in the early stages over Wheaton right now. Lions looking to avoid falling to 4 and 6. And Cater just stuck inside, couldn't get it to finish. Bradbury over half court. Bradbury inside, tried to scoop it up with the left and drew the foul. Madeline Dewey into the game for the first time for Wheaton today, wearing number 14. Sophomore guard out of Greenville, South Carolina. Cater's going to head to the bench after picking up the foul. Maddie Mueller checks back in. 2 shots on the way for Sydney Bradbury. He's already got 5 today, make that 6 after that free throw. Bradbury, an 80% free throw shooter coming into today's contest. 2 of 2 on that trip, and Bridgewater State up to an 8-point lead. Jasperson speeding back down floor and drew the foul. We'll see if it's against Tripp or Bradbury. Both defenders are in the area, and it's charged to Sydney Bradbury. That's her first personal, 4th team foul against Bridgewater. It's going to be Emma Kieran inbound on the other side, coming off for a career-high 14 in the win over Curry. That featured 3 players collecting career highs. Arnold with 17, Kieran with 14, and Young with 10. Dewey with a finish inside. It ends a long scoreless drought for Wheaton. Tripp with a tough finish on the other end, couldn't get it. Jasperson left open for 3 into the corner. Now it's Walters, bounce pass inside, stolen. Grassy trying to go coast to coast. Tough angle, almost got it to go. It caught the glass and then just rolled out of the rim, but Kylie Grassy's going to make her second trip to the free throw line. Abby Fernandez checks back in for Wheaton. Ariel Cleveland re-entering for Bridgewater. Kiki Walters and Jessica Demores heading to the bench. First one falls through for Grassy. Perfect 3 of 3 at the line so far today. Grassy now a perfect 4 of 4, 8-point lead for the Bears. And almost another near steal. It was Grassy again getting her hand on the rock. Goes out of bounds, though. It's going to stay on this end with the Lions. Jasperson works it right side. Dumped in, Mueller. Little fadeaway, got it to go. Good curling shot there from Maddie Mueller, and even better awareness for Jasperson to find the shooter in the right spot. Grassy left wide open straight away and makes him pay. And Allison Chernow frustrated with that. You can never lead a 22-point-per-game scorer wide open for three, but Mueller has back-to-back buckets for Wheaton. Trip back out to Bradbury. Bradbury jab step right down the lane. Tried a little hook shot there. Transition, Dewey. Couldn't get it. It's going to stay here with Wheaton, though, after Cleveland knocks it out of bounds. Tatum Young back into the game for Bridgewater. Emily Quinn checks in for the first time. The first year out of Lancaster, Massachusetts. Played her high school hoops at Neshoba Regional. Inbounded on the far side of Fernandez. Now Mueller will feed it into Kiernan. Kiernan off the glass and in. Emma Kiernan has her first points of the day. Senior out of Wayland, Massachusetts. Tripp with a feed inside. Cleveland got bumped, and she'll head to the line for two shots. So two on the way at the stripe for Ariel Cleveland. Her first trip to the line today. Got the start for this Bridgewater squad this afternoon. Cleveland too strong on the first attempt. Second one on the way, no good, and ends up being a really good foul for Maddie Mueller there. No points for Bridgewater on this possession. Lions just trailing by 5. Feels like it could be much worse, but Maddie Mueller had back-to-back buckets the last two possessions, keeping this squad in it. We're going to have a foul here against Bridgewater on the floor. Foul is going to be charged to Quinn, but it's not going to matter that it was on the floor. Both teams in the bonus here with 1 minute to go, so two shots on the way here for Tatum Young. Young sinks the first of two at the stripe. Young averaging 3 points per game coming into today, and successful on both attempts at the line. Their 3-point ball game with under a minute to go. Tripp with a dribble handoff there to Grassy. Back outside to Tripp. Tripp spins. Airballs it, comes up way short, and the rebound there for Young. Young's going to push the tempo. Wild dribble, and he's going to have it stolen by Grassy, and all alone going the other way. Tripp with an easy finish. Young was just trying to do a little too much with the dribble there, and the veteran backcourt of Bridgewater made him pay. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Both at 15 right now. Dewey, left wing. Feeds it into the post. Mueller goes to work on Cleveland. Turnaround with a right, too strong. Rims out, and the rebound for Grassy. Grassy behind the back. Heaves from half. Too strong, and that's how the first quarter is going to come to an end. Good contest here from Emerson Gymnasium early on. Bridgewater 24, Wheaton 19. We'll be right back. Second quarter coming up next here from Emerson Gymnasium. You're watching Wheaton Women's Basketball on the NewMax Sports Network. Bridgewater State with a 5-point lead over Wheaton after the first 10 minutes of play. Kylie Grassi leading the way for the Bears with 9 points. Maddie Mueller with 6 for the Lions. Fernandez fed inside. A lot of contact. No call, though. Arnold couldn't get the jump hook to go. Peebles outside. Ended up working it inside, then lost it on the baseline. So Lions come away with the possession as Young brings it up across half court. Right wing, Fernandez into the paint. Chucks it over the backboard. Wanted a foul call. Looked like there easily could have been a foul call there, but officials keep the whistles in their mouth. Tripp, hard crossover left side. Good feed to Cleveland. Cleveland picked it up, couldn't get it to go. Follows it up and finishes. The offensive board in the make there for Ariel Cleveland. Cleveland's got 4 points. Young feeds it left side. Arnold. Walters trying to go baseline. And a travel is the call there. Walters took an extra step with it before trying to go up for the layup. Tripp finds Grassi backdoor. Grassi will slow it down. Works in the post. Lost her footing. Looks like she was trying to get a pass off to Cleveland. Young will push the pace the other way. Skips through the lane. Can't get it off the glass. And the rebound for Cleveland. And a foul called against Tatum Young. As she was getting back on defense after her own miss. Those are the fouls that really want to avoid picking up. Just the cheap ones. Getting back on D. First team foul for either side here in the second quarter with the Bears leading the Lions by 7. Tripp, good dish inside. That's why she's leading this team in assists. Cleveland with the finish. Young right wing. Now gets it to Fernandez. Fernandez off the screen. Fed inside. Cater goes up. Count it. And the foul, Regan Cater with a finish off the dish from Abby Fernandez. First points of the second quarter here for Wheaton College. First points of the day for Regan Cater as goes to the line for one shot and she knocks it down with ease. Tripp quickly back up floor in the lane. Traffic, tough finish from Caroline Tripp. Tripp with 2 defenders around, gets it up with the left-handed in. Back to an 8-point ball game. Cater hands it off to Dewey. Dewey lofts it into the post. Cater, back-to-back buckets for the Lions. Tripp pushing the pace again to the cup. No call that time. Tripp hit the deck hard. Tripp was able to get back up and looks like she's okay. The whistle kind of hurt Wheaton there. Had Madeline Dewey on the other end for a wide open 2 points. Not sure if the whistle really should have been blown there. It looked like Tripp was okay just getting back up. It was a hard fall, but didn't seem like anything the game had to stop for, as that just took 2 points right off the board for Wheaton, and Tripp is still out there ready to go. Arnold inside in the post. And everything evens itself out, doesn't it? Bucket and the foul for Nasha Arnold. So Arnold with trip to the free throw line for one shot here to complete the three-point play the hard way. He's able to knock down the free throw. She's coming off her career high of 17 points in the win against Curry College. Having a phenomenal season so far, averaging just under 11 points per game to go along with 7.5 boards. Corner J falls through there. Jessica Demores. Her first bucket of the afternoon. Fernandez on the other end finishes at the rim. Just a 3-point ball game. Bridgewater State led by 8 at one point. And a tough foul call there. Kylie Grassi draws the foul. Going to her left. Looked like Fernandez was straight up on that, and that's what Fernandez and Allison Chernow are trying to plead the case to the official next to the Wheaton sideline. So it's going to be 2 shots coming up here for Kylie Grassi. Fernandez heads to the bench with 2 fouls. Kenneth Jasperson back into the game. Grassi a perfect 4-4 at the free throw line so far today. First of 2 fall for the junior out of Plymouth. Grassi a 68% free throw shooter, and she's 100% today at 6 of 6. Jasperson finds Dewey in the corner. Dewey dribbles it out now straight away. It's Arnold. Jasperson off the screen. Still holding the dribble back outside. It's going to reset things. Double screen up top. Now Cater goes off. And a foul on the floor here called against Bridgewater. It's going to be called against Ariel Cleveland, and now Cleveland in some foul trouble. That's her 3rd personal. And Cleveland will be sidelines here as Demores checks back in. Mueller back in the game for Wheaton. Walters, right wing now, straight away. Mueller was looking for Dewey, and a steal going the other way for the Bears. Finger roll, no good from Grassi, and the rebound pulled down by Arnold. Kenneth Jasperson in transition, leaves it off for Dewey. Arnold in the post, just beyond the free throw line. Mueller knocks it down. Maddie Mueller leading the way for Wheaton right now. She has 8. Quinn inside, works through and finishes. A finish there for the rookie out of Lancaster. Back to a 5-point game. Jasperson looking for something, swings it left side. Walters spins back out. Jasperson straight away, shot clock down to 10. Jasperson rejected at the rim. That was going to be a tough shot. Maybe a good thing that ball got blocked. So Wheaton will have it on the baseline with 6 seconds on the shot clock. And McKiernan checks in the game. 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Walters into traffic, puts it up, and gets it to fall through. This team's last couple of minutes really efficient around the rim. Good ball movement here from Bridgewater outside. It's Bradbury. Grassi, crossover. Picks up the dribble, down low, good feed, not a good finish though. Peebles missed the bunny, back the other way across half court. It's Jasperson. Jasperson holding that dribble, bounce pass off to Mueller. Mueller fed inside, Kiernan off the window and in. And a steal going the other way. Dewey poked it away. Jasperson back down floor. Good jump step in the finish. Sent Peebles right by. And look at that. Lions, 1-point lead. Bridget Casey calls a timeout for Bridgewater. Wheaton 37, Bridgewater 36. We'll be back for the remaining 4 minutes in the first half here from Emerson Gymnasium. Wheaton with their first lead right now since it was 5-2, 37-36 over Bridgewater, and that lead immediately goes away. The hoop and the foul for Emily Quinn. Doing some damage off the bench early on this afternoon. She's got 4 points. And heading to the free throw line for the first time today. Quinn sinks it. Bridgewater back in front, 39-37. Riley Sprague in the game. Throws up the tough shot. Off balance, and it falls through. The junior guard out of Jamestown, Rhode Island. 3 ball, no good. There from Grossi. Possession stays alive for the Bears. And now it's Young collecting it after the miss from Demores. Mueller into the corner. Sprague kicked out. Kiernan rattles it in off the board. 2-point lead for Wheaton. Bradbury, right wing, jacks up the 3. Downtown. Sydney Bradbury with a response. No hesitation there from way outside for Sydney Bradbury. 3 minutes to go in the first half in this high-scoring affair. Bridgewater up by 1. Young trying to respond. Can't do it. Ball tipped down. Walters collects it. Mueller. Pump fake. Jump step through the lane. Rejected by Demores. Sprague was looking to get it into the corner to Mueller, and it got tipped out of bounds. It'll stay right here with Wheaton. Caroline Tripp back into the game for Bridgewater. Jordan Peebles heads to the sidelines for the Bears. Walters catches off the inbound inside, rejected. Shot clock down to 4. Still here with Wheaton, though. Four on the shot clock for Wheaton. Jasperson inbounds it to Walters. Need to put up a shot. They barely get it off, and it goes in. Emma Kiernan heating up a little bit. Kiernan. Back-to-back buckets. She's got 6. She's got 8 now, leading the way for Wheaton. The finish no good. And it's going to be Wheaton ball. Kiernan and Mueller both with 8 points for Wheaton right now, and they're doing it at a really high level. Mueller 4 of 6 from the field. Kiernan a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. Nearly a steal. Dewey. Way outside, misses everything, and it'll go out of bounds untouched. Wheaton still looking for their first win at home this year, only their 3rd game at home. Opened up the season with the Wheaton tip-off tournament. They went 0-2 in that, falling to Riviere and RPI. 3 ball, no good from Bradbury. Dewey pulls up, rattles it in. How about this for her first half? 45-42, and Quinn's got herself another bucket on the feed from Demores. Walters can't respond. Bradbury is going to race up floor. Bridgewater has numbers. Quinn with the right, can't get it. The rebound there, right there for Grassi. Grassi with the left, gets the friendly, bounce it in. Under 1 minute to play now, 1 point lead for Bridgewater. Jasperson will slow it down outside. Feeds it right side to Mueller, and Mueller got stripped. There's Demores with the steal, and now Demores with the finish off the pass from Bradbury. And Allison Chernow will take a timeout here with 38 seconds to go. Back and forth they go. Bridgewater 48, Wheaton 45. We'll be right back here from Emerson Gymnasium. Wheaton ball out of the timeout. They trail by 3 in the late stages of the first half. An extremely high-scoring game between both of these teams. Shot clock down to 12. Kiernan finds Dewey. Shot clock at 10 now. Cater, mid-range. Rattles in and out. The rebound for Kiernan. Can't get it. And then it was swiped away by Tripp, so Bridgewater can hold for one with 10 seconds. Quinn, picked up by Jasperson, crosses over, drives in, scoops it, rejected away by Cater. Walters heaves it, but it's going to come up short, and how about that for a first half? 48-45 the score. Bridgewater leads Wheaton by 3. Maddie Mueller, Emma Kiernan, each with 8 points for Wheaton. For Bridgewater, 2 in double figures. Kylie Grassi has 13. Sydney Bradbury chipping in with 10. We'll step away. Halftime here from Norton. Next up will be the Baycoast Bank halftime report. Stay tuned for more action here from Emerson Gymnasium. Pecos Bank halftime report here from beautiful Emerson Gymnasium. A high-scoring affair this afternoon between Bridgewater State and Wheaton. 48-45 the score at halftime for the Bears. Kylie Grassi leading the way with 13. Sydney Bradbury has 10. And then Emily Quinn chipping in with 7 points off the bench. For Wheaton, 2 players, both with 8 points. Emma Kiernan and Maddie Mueller playing some really good basketball right now. As a team, Wheaton's 19 of 41 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and a perfect 6 of 6 at the free throw line. Bears 18 of 37 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, 9 of 11 at the free-point line. Wheaton out rebounding Bridgewater State 23-18. 7 turnovers for Wheaton, 4 for Bridgewater State. Largest lead for Wheaton was 3 points when they led 45-42 for Bridgewater. Their largest lead was 9 when they were up 28-19. 48-45 the score. Bridgewater on top by 3 over the Lions. We'll be back for the second half in just about 4 minutes here from Norton. Don't go anywhere. Second half about to get underway here with Bridgewater leading Wheaton 48-45. Thanks for being with us. As always here on the NewMax Sports Network, I'm Jackson Walsh. It's been a thrilling game so far, a really high-scoring one to say the least, and a turnover on the opening possession of the half. Bridgewater State will take over. Fernandez was looking for Mueller, just a little too tall on that pass. Goucher will take it up floor, goes left. Back outside, there's Demores. Now right wing, Bradbury. Inside, corner three. Goucher can't knock it down. The rebound for Arnold. Pass nearly stolen, pull up. Walters can't hit. Arnold tracks down the offensive board. Arnold tries the three. That one's off the mark, and the rebound down low for Demores. Goucher inside the three-point line, back out. Bradbury, pull up, free throw line, tough shot, knocked it down. It's a fluent jumper there from Sidney Bradbury. Bridgewater back up by 5. Baseline, Walters spins out, Jasperson can't hit the triple to go, and it's going to be out of bounds off of Fernandez, so Bridgewater basketball. Goucher will take her time, bring it up across half court. Three no good there from Grassi, an offensive board for Cleveland. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. Bradbury with a left finishes. Bridgewater State on a 10-0 run right now. It was a 45-42 game, and it's been all Bears since then. Fernandez, free throw line. Jasperson, wing. Kennis trying to go baseline. Fernandez way too strong on the jumper. The board for Grassi. Kylie Grassi. Transition. Cleveland. Back out, Grassi. 3 on the way. Can't get it. Fight for the board, and it's going to stay here. Good job keeping that one alive from Goucher. It went out of bounds off of Jasperson. Out of bounds again, still staying on this end. Grassi gets it to Bradbury. Bradbury goes right, throws up a wild shot, and she got it. The contact and the hook shot falls through for Sidney Bradbury. He's got 14 to lead all scorers now in Bridgewater, tying their biggest lead of the day at 9. Jasperson, need that. Knocked it down. Big time response from Kenneth Jasperson. Cleveland trailing the play. He's going to get it to Bradbury. Bradbury picks up the dribble. There's Grassi. Grassi with Walters all over. Tough shot. Can't get it. All alone for the board and put back. Jessica Demores. Jasperson with the ball, just knocked down the triple. Walters inside, contact, can't finish, but trip to the free throw line coming up for Kiki Walters. Fouls against Demores, that's her first personal. Walters converts on the first of 2 at the line. Kiki, 2 of 2 on that trip, back to a 6-point ball game. Bridgewater on a 14-5 run. Goucher inside, got stuck. Bradbury, 3-ball. Rattles out, and the rebound down low for Cleveland yet again. Cleveland tried to body Kiernan, but was unable to finish. Walters out to Jasperson. Almost a steal. And the deflection will erase that being a backcourt violation. Jasperson has Kiernan. Kiernan just inside the right wing. Dumped inside of the bounce pass. Reverse. Cater couldn't get it. Walters in there to pick it up. 3 on the shot clock. Fernandez needs to put it up. A lot of contact. Can't get it. Ball loose on the floor. And a jump ball. It's going to be Bridgewater State ball. Possession arrow pointed the other way. Grassy fouled from nowhere near the basket by Walters there. Tough one to pick up, but only Walters' second personal foul. First team foul in the third quarter against Wheaton. Jasperson and Fernandez each head to the bench. Goucher pump fake the 3. Back out to Cleveland. Grassy straight away. With the left, can't get it in the offhand. Comes up short. Still a 6-point lead for Bridgewater State, approaching 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Walters. Just beyond the block, back out, Cater, 3-ball. That one's no good in Cleveland. All alone for the rebound. Three on the way, right wing, can't hit, was Demores. And the ball will go out of bounds untouched, back to the Lions. They're going to allow the substitution here right before the ball was inbounded. Jordan Peebles back into the game for Bridgewater. First time we've seen her here in the second half. Tatum Young will bring it out the floor. Gets the screen from Kiernan. Young floater rolls off the rim and the rebound for Peebles. Wheaton only with 5 points here in the second half and a foul. 2 shots on the way. Sophia Goucher will head to the free throw line. Foul is charged to Emma Kiernan, her first personal. Second team foul against Wheaton in the third quarter. Abby Fernandez checks back into the game. Kiki Walters heads to the sidelines. First of 2 at the line from Goucher is good. She's got 3 points as her first trip to the free throw line today. Senior forward out of Lakeville. No good on the second attempt. Young threw it away, looking for Dewey. Stolen by Grassi. Costly turnover for Wheaton right there. Bradbury in the post. Up fake, goes up and got fouled. Oh, another trip to the free throw line. This time, 2 shots on the way for Sydney Bradbury. Bradbury knocks down the first of 2. She is having herself a day right now. 17 points for the senior out of East Bridgewater. 2 of 2 on that trip. Bridgewater back up to their biggest lead at 9 points. Good ball movement from Wheaton. And a near steal. Kiernan trying to feed it into the post to Cater, but good defense from Demores. Working her hand around. There's a whistle and a discussion there between one of the officials and Bridgewater's coach, Bridget Casey. No technical foul or anything of that nature, but not sure what that was from across the court. And miscommunication there. Cater was going baseline and Young trying to feed it into the post. And good time for a timeout here. Allison Chernow takes one. Bridgewater 59, Wheaton 50. 3.5 to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back from Norton, Massachusetts. Bears basketball out of the timeout. They've got themselves a 9-point lead over Wheaton right now. Grassi trying to feed the post. Turnover here for the Bears. Gives it back to Wheaton, trailing by 9. Bridgewater on a 17-5 run right now. Wheaton had their biggest lead at 3 when it was 45-42 late in the first half. Kiernan inside, turns around and uses the bank. Emma Kiernan into double figures for the second consecutive game. Peebles back out to Goucher. Goucher, a lot of contact and a blocking foul to call. Foul is charged to Emma Kiernan. That's her second personal. No free throws, only the fourth team foul against Wheaton in the third quarter. Inbound, and the jumper goes through for Jessica Demores. Bridgewater still clinging to that 9-point lead. And another turnover. Wheaton threw it away. Bears back down floor trip. Grassi skips through the lane with a left and in. Bridgewater has their biggest lead at 11. Two minutes to play in the third quarter. Bears 63, Lions 52. Cater in the post. Ball ended up bouncing into the hands of Sprague, and now Sprague was stripped by Tripp, I should say. And then Sprague picks up the foul. It is all Bridgewater State here in the second half. Really efficient on both ends of the floor, and that's the 15th foul against Wheaton here in the third quarter, so free throws for Bridgewater. Caroline Tripp heads to the line for 2 shots. Tripp's first free throws of the day, off the mark on the first one. Only a 52% free throw shooter is Tripp. Second one on the way, falls through. Bridgewater lead extends to 12. Ball goes out of bounds off of Tripp, staying here with the Lions. 1:45 to go before we hit the fourth quarter. Fernandez, pull up. Can't hit it in the rebound for Quinn. Quinn gets it to Tripp, and an offensive foul is as soon as Tripp got it. Fernandez was right there. Some hard contact between those two, and Tripp is a little banged up after that. Looks like she's okay, though. So good defensive hustle play there from Abby Fernandez to be in the right place at the right time on defense. Dewey, tough shot in the lane, missed the rim, and the rebound for number 24, Jordan Peebles, junior forward out of Middleborough. More free throws on the way here for Bridgewater. Fernandez called to the foul now that time. That's her third personal. They'll send Jessica Demores to the line for 2 shots for Bridgewater State. Demores' first attempts from the free throw line today, having herself a very nice game. 10 points to go along with 6 rebounds. Second one from Demores rattles out. 0 of 2 on that trip. The rebound corralled by Arnold. Jasperson will dribble it out. Calls something out, puts 2 fingers in the air. Cater in the post to Arnold. Arnold turnaround comes up short with a left hand. Bears in transition. Grassi behind the back, a lot of contact, and Madeline Dewey whistled for the foul this time. 2 shots coming up for Kylie Grassi. Grassi with 15 today, 4-14 from the field, but a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line. First one comes up short for Grassi. Walters and Mueller back in the game for Wheaton after that last whistle as Grassi knocks down the second of 2. 40 seconds here to play in the third quarter. Wheaton trailing by 13. Kiernan left wing now. It's Dewey. Straight away, Walters. A lot of contact in the foul. Hoop and some harm for Kiki Walters, and maybe a little spark here for Wheaton before the third quarter wraps up. Second personal foul against Emily Quinn. Quinn heads to the bench with those 2 fouls, and 1 free throw on the way here for Kiki Walters. Walters a perfect 4-4 at the stripe so far today. Make that 5 of 5. 11-point ball game. Bears can hold for 1 if they elect to. Tripp has it outside. 15 on the game clock. Walters not applying a lot of pressure. Now Tripp's going to go. Gets the screen from Peebles. Crosses to the rim. Can't finish. Rebound. Tripp has it again. From outside comes up short. Grassi, offensive board at the buzzer. Gets it to go, a killer. Going into the fourth quarter here for Wheaton. Couple of offensive rebounds and a bucket for Kylie Grassi, who's got 16 now. And Bridgewater with an 11-point lead, 67-55, the Bears on top. So we take the turn to the fourth quarter coming up next here on the NewMax Sports Network. 67-55 the lead for Bridgewater State to kick off the fourth quarter here. Is a much slower third quarter for Wheaton scoring-wise than the previous first two, as Mueller takes the jumper from outside, can't hit it, Tripp pulls down the rebound. Wheaton had 45 first half points, just 10 there in the third quarter, and everything going on at half court ends up with Bridgewater State coming away with it. Peebles, Euro in the lane, contact, no call either way. Ball ended up going out of bounds. It's Wheaton ball after all of that. Mueller was lying on the ground. Looked like she tripped a player up, but had her ground. No foul on that. A little hectic possession there to kick off the last quarter of play. Kiernan left side and a foul away from the ball. Called against Bridgewater State. That's Goucher's third personal foul, first team foul here in the fourth quarter for either side. Young inbounds it to Walters. Walters will bring it around up top, 15 on the shot clock. Fernandez in the lane, puts it up, rolled all around the rim and out, but Mueller's there for the board and the putback. Tripp spins. Don't know if that was a shot or a pass, but whatever it was a little off balance. Wheaton comes away with it. Kiernan, corner jumper, gets it to go. A little bit of life here for the Lions, an 8-point ball game now. Bears will take a timeout. Wheaton back in it. They trail by 8, 67-59, the lead for Bridgewater State when we come back from Emerson Gymnasium. Bridgewater possession out of the timeout called by head coach Bridget Casey. Bears still comfortably in front by 8. Wheaton sparked a little bit of life on the last couple of possessions. Good step through and finish. Jessica Demores with a big time move down low. That's what the doctor ordered out of the timeout. 10-point lead for the Bears. Another foul away from the ball. It's still against Bridgewater State. And that's Sophia Goucher's fourth personal foul, so she's going to go to the bench. Sydney Bradbury back in the game. Bradbury and Grassi both with 18 for Bridgewater. Young collects the dribble, hands off to Fernandez. Fernandez stuck on the baseline, and Fernandez stepped out of bounds before trying to throw the ball off of one of the Bridgewater State defenders. Tripp with a kiss off the glass and in. Kiernan corrals it right under the basket. Dewey looked like she's thought about the three. Now it's Kiernan feeding the post. Mueller Left all alone, go up with it. Count it! And the foul. And Jessica Demore is on the ground holding her ankle right now. That's why Mueller ended up being wide open. It's because Demore's hit the deck. Demore's going to hobble off the floor here, be attended by the athletic training staff here at Wheaton. Looks like might have just tweaked that ankle a little bit. Mueller can't convert the three-point play, but Walters pulls down the offensive board. And fresh possession here for the Lions. Fernandes steps into the mid-range, too strong. Walters with another offensive rebound. Couldn't get the great angle to finish. Got it on the rim, though, but still 2 points on that possession for Wheaton. Grassi inside, sent away by Mueller. Still a 10-point ball game here with under 7 minutes to play. It's inbounded to Bradbury, right wing. Walters with a steal. Walters with a finish on the other end. 8-point game. Can feel the life picking up in this place a little bit as Tripp walks it up across half court. Tripp, good cut inside. Oh, couldn't finish. Grassi missed the wide open one down low. Wheaton with the chance to cut into the lead a little more. Kiernan, nobody there. Tripp's going to pick it up and be able to finish all alone. Nobody was even around on Wheaton to get to that ball, so it would be a backcourt violation in time. Back to a double-figure lead. Fernandes' wild pass goes out of bounds, trying to look down low for Cater. Cater just wasn't in the spot to collect that. Fernandes going to head to the sidelines here. Jasperson back in the ball game for Wheaton. Really important part of this game right now. Lions trailing by 10 with 5.5 to go. Tripp drives in. Peebles finishes. Good feed there from Caroline Tripp. Just blew by the defender in the corner and forced some help D and left Peebles wide open. Look at that from Madeline Dewey. A little in and out. And then Dewey picks up the foul going back on D. Not a terrible foul, though, only the first team foul against Wheaton. Nasha Arnold back in the game. Emma Kiernan to the sidelines. Peebles gets it into Tripp. Tripp loses the dribble. Walters trying to come up with it. A fight for it on the floor and a tie-up. It's going to be Wheaton basketball. There's a case of Tripp just trying to do a little too much there in the corner. Didn't need all the extra dribbling. Results in Wheaton come away with a tie-up. Cater walked with it. Shuffled the feet before putting the ball on the floor. Emily Quinn back in the game here for Bridgewater State. Tripp heads to the sidelines. Under 5 minutes to play. Bradbury, right wing. Gets by the defenders. Arnold comes in for the rejection. Bradbury. Wild attempt with the left. Didn't even get any air under it. Lions going back the other way, but nothing happening there. This end, though, Bridgewater with numbers. And an easy finish for Kylie Grassi off the dish from Sydney Bradbury, and a timeout called by Allison Chernow. We'll take 1-2. Lions in trouble, trailing by 12 late. The final home game of the first semester. Lions trailing by 12, 4:15 to go in regulation. Looking to avoid going 0-3 on their home floor the whole first semester. And not a great way to start it. Fernandez threw it away, a steal. Back the other way, Grassi can't finish with the left. Walters with a rebound. Walters will push the tempo, crosses over, back on the baseline now. Swung outside, Cater tries the three, long range. Well off the mark, and the rebound all alone was Ariel Cleveland. Grassi gets it to Cleveland, backdoor, Quinn with a cut, comes up short, gets her own miss. Back up on the right side and finishes. $14-point ball game now. Fernandez can't hit from the free throw line, and the rebound for Bradbury. Bradbury wiggling through the defense. Scoop shot with the left, can't get it. Arnold with the rebound. And another tie-up. And Cleveland's hustle is going to keep the ball on this end of the floor. Extreme desperation time for Wheaton. Trailing by 14 with 2:47 to play. Grassi off the inbound, and that may very well be the dagger, a bucket. And the foul for Kylie Grassi. She's got 22, matching her season average. Second one, only one from Grassi. Goes through, she converts the three-point play in Bridgewater. Big lead right now, 17 points with 2:45 to go. Three ball, too strong from Walters. And Cleveland's a little banged up there. Looked like she was rattled on defense and then holding that knee, going back on offense. So I think a quick timeout here just for substitutions for Ariel Cleveland to head to the bench. Sophia Goucher is going to check back in to replace Cleveland. just an official timeout there for injury. Hopefully Ariel Cleveland is okay. Just looks like she's holding one of her knees over there on the sidelines. Tripp behind the back. Swings it left side. 3 on the way. Grassi too strong, and the rebound down low for Walters. Coming up on 2 minutes to play. Young will dribble it over near the Wheaton bench. Now it's Walters again. Gets the screen from Mueller. Dewey puts up the 3. Eye arcing shot rattles in and out. The rebound taken away by Caroline Tripp. Bears can just milk some clock right here if they want to. Quinn, tough turnaround. It goes through. And that should just about officially do it. If the buckets earlier didn't officially do it. A 19-point lead here for Bridgewater. Dewey still can't get it to fall. That ball hits the extension above the backboard. Well, Bridgewater State's going to improve to 4-5. Wheaton will fall to 4-6. Tripp, 10 on the shot clock. Quinn. The foul comes in. It's going to be called against Tatum Young. Fresh 20 on the shot clock with 1 minute to play here for Bridgewater. Next up for both of these squads, it'll be a long layoff for Wheaton. They won't be back in action until December 29th when they go on the road to Gordon College up in Wenham, Massachusetts. For Bridgewater, I'm sure the whole team's got to be excited for this as Tripp hits the turnaround. The next game will be on the Big Island in Hawaii, the Big Island Classic. They'll be down in Hawaii December 15th and 16th for a couple of games there. They'll face off against Angelo State out in the islands. Arnold off the mark, and now Bridgewater can just dribble it out. Now Kiki Walters goes down holding that knee. She's a little banged up. Well, 2 players in the late stages here with some knees getting rattled around down low with just 11 seconds to go. You really hate to see that. Walters is going to be helped off the floor. Fernandez will go on for the final 11 seconds, and Bridgewater can just dribble it out. They'll grab a win here to end a 2-game losing streak. They'll improve to 4-5, as I just said. Wheaton 4-6, and the Lions will fall to 0-3 on their home floor here in the first semester. It's okay, though. Conference play still on the way. Wheaton won't kick off conference play for over another month when they face off against the Coast Guard Academy on the road, January 13th. Final score, Bridgewater State 86, Wheaton 65. Bridgewater State led by who else but Kylie Grassi, averaging 22.5 coming into this game. She dropped 23 this afternoon. Sydney Bradbury chipping in with 18. Caroline Tripp with 11. Emily Quinn with 11. And Jessica Demores with 12, all those players in double figures for Bridgewater State in the win. For Wheaton, Kiki Walters led the way with 13. Then chipping in with 12 apiece was Maddie Mueller and Emma Kiernan. Final here from Emerson Gymnasium, Bridgewater 86, Wheaton 65. For the Newmax Sports Network and Wheaton College, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jackson Walsh.